It's the bus to the Coliseum. We've had our breakfast, and now we're going to have the Coliseum. More and more. The crowd. We made it to the Coliseum. It's pretty crazy. There must have been 200 people in that little bus.
They'll get more in.
Yeah. Leave it standing. Redoing the tower. Watched old movies where they get on a bus and they hold on. The first time I ever held on to anything like that. Wow. I'd like to be on a chariot and go on that thing.
Tough on your feet.
Yeah.
Furious Bar comes Caligula. After Caligula comes Claudius. After Claudius' bride comes Nero. After Nero comes the Flavian.
Wow. You're doing pretty good.
I am good.
What about Howard? He was in between there.
Harvard?
Howard, he was in between, don't you think?
You cannot tell me what.
They're from LA.
I know this
and
from
she's
inside, from outside.
She's 9 months older than I am. She
Yeah.
wanted to tell me that.
Yeah, she's very proud of them,
Yes.
those 9 months.
Yeah. Hey,
Over 2,000
2,000 years ago. And we can't build a road that lasts 25 now.
No, if you look how the roads look in Los Angeles after the rain.
Oh my gosh, terrible. The short northern side of the stadium of some service rooms ended in a square room with niches decorated with statues and fountains fed by a complex system of water pipes. Some large cisterns in the underground area to the rear, already known in Renaissance, and drawn by somebody, ensured a water supply to the Flavian Palace, a branch of the whatever aqueduct, Claudin, which ran from the one hill to this part of the Palatine supplied the cisterns. Okay, this right here was what we were looking at, the stadium, right here, and this was the Imperial Palace. The Imperial Palace, after the fires of 64 to 80 AD, the Imperial Palace was built on the top of the Palatine Hill. The Imperial complex, built by the architect Rabirio at the behest of Dominion, featured 3 different parts. The Domus Flavia was the public wing. The Dumas Argentina on 2 levels was the imperial family's private residence, and the stadium was a race course and palace. So that was a race course here. This is the Domus Transistorium. Beneath this of the Flavian palaces lies important remains of Nero's palace, which according to ancient authors extended from the Palatine to Appian Hill, which is a long way. Wow, must be some of the floor kind of moved around with earthquakes and whatever. Neato. See it, but that right there is where Nero's stuff, a lot of Nero's stuff is. It's below it. This is Flavius. Building block of Rome, cement and brick. This is one that they're digging. Very meticulous, takes a long time. You got scaffolds and everything. That middle area. They don't know what's underneath there. They'll find it. Some of these, like the digs of the pool that we saw right outside the apartment, they've got coverings over that. Because of the weather, they don't want it to erode any more than it is. But you see here, you know, they can't cover this. But you just got to think the phenomenal size of this. I mean, it's just bewildering. So here's that stadium that we first saw. Here's that big area that we said that there was a racetrack. Okay, so there's that, and we walked over here. This is what we got from the video. That right there, the top that I thought was statues, that actually had a top on it. It went crown-wise, and that's where, in the middle, was where the emperor would pass judgment. He'd sit there. Okay. I might as well show it. Temple of Romulus,
You can see that
the
from
Temple of Antonius and somebody else.
here. Faustina.
Yeah.
You'll see that when we walk down there.
Yeah. Santa Francesca Romeo, that must be a church.
Romana. Yep.
Romana. Santa Maria Nova. There's the Arch of Titus. Now that's when you come in.
That's what we'll walk through. And we'll
That's
go
what
to
I
the-
showed. You had the other arch, and then the Arch of Titus was one that I showed up the street. Okay.
This is the beginning of the walk into the forum.
Yeah. Yeah, that's beginning. The shrine of Venus. The circular base is placed above a tough structure set on the ground, located where entered the forum. This is a shrine dedicated to Venus, containing two statues. According to tradition, a young Virginia was murdered here by her brother to prevent her falling into the hands of the Claudius. The shrine was also used for the ritual purification of the Roman and Sabine armies. Wow.